This is not the same Real Madrid, and for the rest of Europe, that could become a serious problem. Because Madrid have done something that almost sounds unnecessary. They have taken a squad already loaded with world-class talent and handed it back to Jose Mourinho. He officially returned on a 3-year deal, and his first weeks of pre-season have already been filled with demanding double sessions, pressing drills, possession under pressure, and tactical work. And Mourinho isn't returning to the Madrid he left in 2013. This time, he has a squad built around a completely different generation. Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Arda Güler, Federico Valverde. Pace, creativity, power, and players capable of deciding matches almost by themselves. That creates an argument people are going to have all season. Some will look at Mourinho and see a manager whose best years belong to another era. Others will look at the players he's inherited and wonder whether Real Madrid have just given one of football's most ruthless managers the most dangerous squad he has had in years. Because Madrid don't need Mourinho to teach them how to produce superstars. They need him to turn those superstars into something far more difficult to beat. And if the early emphasis on intensity, pressing, and tactical discipline is any indication, Madrid aren't preparing to simply entertain Europe next season. They're preparing to control it. So what exactly is Mourinho building in Madrid, and how frightening could this team become when all of those pieces finally come together?
The biggest change at Real Madrid is not another superstar signing, it is Jose Mourinho. Madrid officially brought him back on a 3-year contract until June 2029, and from the first days of pre-season, the message has been obvious. This team is going to be more intense, more disciplined, and much harder to play through. Look at the training. Double sessions, high-intensity physical work, possession under pressure, pressing drills, recoveries, small-sided games designed to force quicker decisions. Again and again, Mourinho's early sessions have focused on exactly the things that decide big matches: how quickly Madrid react after losing the ball, how compact they stay, and how aggressively they can win possession back. And that matters because this squad is already built for speed. Federico Valverde can cover enormous ground. Arda Güler can find pockets between the lines. Vinicius Jr. can destroy space once the game opens up. Kylian Mbappe is even more dangerous when Madrid recover the ball before the opposition has time to reset. Mourinho does not need these players to be more talented. He needs their talent to arrive in the right moments. That is the difference. If Madrid press badly, Mbappe and Vinicius spent too much time chasing backwards. If the midfield becomes stretched, Valverde has to cover impossible distances. If the defensive line drops too early, Madrid's attackers receive the ball 60 metres from goal instead of 30. But if Mourinho can compress the pitch, win the ball higher, and keep the distances between the lines short, suddenly Madrid's best players begin every attack closer to where they can hurt you. And this is where the new version of Mourinho becomes fascinating. The old stereotype says Mourinho only wants a deep block and counter-attacks, but his early work in Madrid suggests something more flexible. The squad has repeatedly trained pressing, ball circulation, possession and attacking patterns, not simply defensive shape. Even his small-sided work has been built around quick combinations and finishing. That doesn't mean Mourinho has suddenly become Pep Guardiola. It means he understands the squad he has. This Madrid team has too much attacking quality to spend 90 minutes waiting. What Mourinho can give them is structure around that quality. When Madrid need to press together. When they need to suffer, stay compact. When space appears, attack it immediately. and when they dominate possession, move the ball quickly enough that Mbappe, Vinicius and Gula are receiving against defenders who are already moving backwards. That balance is what could make this team different, because Mourinho has inherited world-class players. Now he is trying to give them something Madrid have sometimes lacked: collective aggression without losing individual freedom. And if he gets that balance right, the frightening part is not just that Real Madrid can beat you, it is that they could become comfortable beating you in completely different ways. But for that to happen, Mourinho needs the right weapons, and looking at the squad Madrid are assembling around him, he might already have them.
Madrid don't need every match to look the same. They have enough pace to counter-attack, enough technique to dominate possession, enough individual quality to unlock a deep defence, and enough physical power to make matches uncomfortable. Of course, there are still questions. Militao, Mendy and Rodrigo are currently continuing their recovery programs, and Mourinho has barely had his complete post-World Cup squad together during pre-season. So this team isn't finished yet, and that might actually be the scary part. Because if this is what Real Madrid look like before Mourinho has even had enough time with all of his best players, imagine what happens when the system becomes automatic. That brings us to the biggest question of all. How high is the ceiling of this Real Madrid team?
And that is where this becomes bigger than a new manager story. Real Madrid are not building this team simply to compete for La Liga. With Mourinho back and a squad containing Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, Gula and Valverde, the expectation will inevitably be to win everything. But Europe will not simply move aside. Spain have strong domestic challenges, and the Champions League remains full of teams capable of punishing even small tactical mistakes. Mourinho also has to manage enormous personalities, find the right attacking balance, and make sure Madrid's defensive structure can support so many offensive weapons. But if those pieces click, Madrid have something very few teams possess: multiple ways to beat you. Give them space, and Mbappe and Vinicius can destroy you in transition. Sit deep, and Bellingham and Gula can start finding spaces around your box. Try to turn it into a physical battle, and Valverde gives them the legs and intensity to fight back. And now, Mourinho's job is to turn all of that individual brilliance into one functioning unit. That is why this season feels different. Not because Real Madrid suddenly discovered superstars. Madrid have always had superstars. The difference is what could happen if Mourinho makes all of them play like one team. Because this isn't Mourinho returning to recreate the Madrid of 2012. This is a different generation, a different squad, and potentially a completely different monster. And if everything comes together, this is not the same Real Madrid. This might be the Real Madrid the rest of Europe should be worried about.